My sister Emma was every man's ultimate crush. She was elegant, pure, innocent, and kind. When admirers offered her career opportunities through connections, she dismissed them with disgust. Do you think I'm like my little sister, willing to sleep with old men for a job position? Get lost. When suitors spent thousands just to see her face, she sneered at them. If you want to play around, go find my sister. $5,000 can buy you a night with her. Don't bother me. Under her lies, my hard-earned job became sleeping around, and my endless business dinners became prostitution. Everyone believed my private life was messy, which eventually led to me being assaulted and killed by one of her obsessed admirers. But she stepped on me to climb higher, successfully marrying the richest heir in New York City. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day Emma spread rumors about my promiscuous lifestyle. I opened my eyes to see Emma kicking a man carrying documents out of our house, righteously scolding him. The man wasn't angry about being rejected. Instead, he became more attentive, speaking gently. Luna, I didn't mean it that way. I just really admire your abilities and wanted to promote you. Please don't overthink it. I don't need it. Emma continued her thoughtless rejection. If I want a promotion, I'll earn it with my own abilities. If you're really that lonely, you can ask my sister. She casually pointed toward me as I returned to her doorstep. She'll do anything for work. Just last week, she went to a hotel with her 50-something balding boss to secure a project. If you're willing to open doors for her, I'm sure she'd be very willing to go with you. The man followed her words and looked at me, contempt immediately flashing in his eyes. It was the same in my previous life. This man was the CEO of her company. To pursue her, he personally came to arrange a promotion for her. While rejecting him, she deliberately spread lies about me to highlight her own purity. When I angrily confronted her later, she only said, I was just having fun, speaking casually. It was just a joke. Don't be so petty. But because of her joke, I lost my job. This CEO happened to have business with our company. Shortly after he left that day, rumors about me seducing my boss for promotion spread throughout the entire company. All my colleagues ostracized me, openly and secretly mocking me as someone who sold herself. The projects I worked hard over time and entertained clients to secure were taken away by my boss for poor personal conduct and given to other colleagues. Soon after, that middle-aged supervisor's wife came looking for me. Convinced I had seduced her husband, she slapped me dozens of times in public and kicked me out of the company. Remembering all this, the anger and hatred in my heart surged uncontrollably. I forcibly suppressed my rage and showed some confusion on my face, asking back, Sister, what are you talking about? I did go to a hotel last week, but that time, didn't you ask me to deliver protection to you and your boyfriend? As soon as I finished speaking, both their faces changed. The man looked at Emma in disbelief. Emma's face turned slightly pale. What nonsense are you talking about? Sorry, I misspoke. I hurriedly covered my mouth, looking somewhat regretful. That wasn't your boyfriend. You said you had no plans to date anyone for years. Emma's face looked even worse. She was about to scold me again when the man seemed to understand something and his face darkened. Great. I thought you were really so pure and noble. Turns out behind the scenes, you're just another shameless woman. He spat harshly, pushed Emma hard and stormed off. Emma staggered, almost losing her balance, then turned to glare at me. Sarah, what do you mean? That's my boss. You slandered me in front of him like that. Are you trying to destroy me? I just got home and heard you talking about going to hotels with your boss. I thought you were joking. I turned to meet her gaze, nonchalantly. So I just went along with what you said. Spreading rumors was easy, anyone could do it. Since she loved talking nonsense so much. In this lifetime, I'd make her taste the same medicine. Emma was momentarily speechless, unable to argue back. She became even more furious. After a moment, she angrily said, I know you did this on purpose. I'm telling you, if today's incident affects my work and reputation, I'll never forgive you. I showed some timidity on my face. I really didn't mean it. How about this? Tomorrow when you go to work, I'll come with you to your company to apologize to your boss and explain everything clearly. Emma fell silent, thinking it over. She probably realized this was the only solution for now. After a while, she agreed with a stern face. You better explain properly. If you can't make it clear, tomorrow I'll make a scene at your company. You won't have it easy either. I nodded seriously. I understand. The next day, I picked out an expensive gift and went with Emma to her company. Before entering the company, I specifically asked her to go to work normally first while I went to explain alone. Emma immediately became alert. What tricks are you planning now? I showed some helplessness on my face. I'm thinking of you. If you come along to explain eagerly, wouldn't that make him think you have something to hide? It's better if I go in alone to clarify things. I knew Emma cared most about maintaining her elegant and pure image in public. Rushing to explain to a pursuer who had chased after her would undoubtedly be degrading in her eyes. Emma's fingers tightened around the phone. Her face turned pale little by little. The atmosphere in the office instantly became strange. Mr. Wilson stared at the photo with an ugly expression. Who is this? I hurriedly reached over as if flustered. Sorry, I accidentally swiped too far. But Emma's reaction had already exposed everything. Because the man in the photo was holding her waist while she smiled sweetly at him across the table. The two looked extremely intimate. Emma immediately explained anxiously, he's just a friend. Friend? Mr. Wilson laughed coldly. Do friends touch each other like that? Emma became visibly nervous. I stood beside them, looking conflicted. Actually, my sister's private life has always been pretty complicated. Emma whipped around to glare at me. Shut up. I shrank back slightly, then looked at Mr. Wilson apologetically. Please don't misunderstand her. My sister just has many admirers. Sometimes she doesn't know how to reject people properly. Mr. Wilson's expression darkened further. Everyone in the company knew he had pursued Emma for over a year. He had protected her openly and secretly, given her resources, and even planned to promote her personally. But now another wealthy young man suddenly appeared. And Emma clearly wasn't innocent the way she pretended to be. Emma noticed the change in his expression and panicked completely. Mr. Wilson, listen to me. But he interrupted coldly. So you already had a boyfriend. Then why were you still accepting all the benefits I gave you? I didn't. And yesterday you acted so disgusted when I went to your house. He laughed angrily. Turns out you were only looking down on me because I'm older than him? Emma's lips trembled. She subconsciously looked toward me again. I lowered my eyes obediently, but inside, I almost laughed out loud. In my previous life, she had watched calmly while rumors destroyed me. Now it was finally her turn to taste that feeling. I softly added, actually, my sister often says she hates men who use money and status to pursue women. Emma's eyes widened. Sarah. I looked startled. What? Didn't you say that before? Mr. Wilson's face became completely ugly. He slammed the documents onto the desk. Enough. The entire office fell silent. Your promotion review is cancelled. Emma froze instantly. And the East District project will be reassigned. Her face lost all color. That project was the most important opportunity in her department. She had bragged for months that once she secured it, she would definitely rise into upper management. Now it was gone. Just like that. Mr. Wilson, please give me a chance to explain. I don't want to hear it. His voice was full of disgust now. Get out. Emma stood there stiffly for several seconds before finally turning around. When she passed me, her eyes looked like they wanted to tear me apart alive. But I only followed behind her carefully like an innocent younger sister. The moment we entered the elevator, Emma exploded. You did that on purpose. I blinked in confusion. Did what? You deliberately showed him that photo. I really didn't mean to. I looked wronged. I was just trying to help explain things for you. You think I'm stupid? Emma's voice became sharper and sharper. You've been targeting me since yesterday. I lowered my head quietly. Then after a few seconds, I suddenly looked up and smiled faintly. Sister. Emma paused slightly. You only spread a few rumors about me before. Her expression changed instantly. I continued softly, but because of those rumors, I lost my job, got beaten in public, and became a joke to everyone around me. Emma's eyes flickered guiltily for only a moment before turning angry again. That was different. How was it different? You're doing this deliberately. I almost laughed hearing that. So she knew this kind of thing could ruin someone. She just never cared when the victim was me. The elevator doors opened. Several employees outside immediately looked over curiously. Emma instantly restored her gentle, elegant expression like flipping a switch. If I hadn't lived through my previous life, even I would have admired her acting. Unfortunately for her, rumors spread much faster than explanations. By noon, everyone in the company already knew she was secretly involved with another rich man while stringing Mr. Wilson along. People started connecting things on their own. No wonder she rejected him every time. So she was aiming higher all along. She acts so pure every day too. I thought she hated rich men chasing her. When Emma walked through the office, countless strange looks followed her. Exactly the same looks people once gave me. Except this time, I felt indescribably satisfied watching it happen. Back then, when people whispered behind my back, Emma had smiled sweetly and told me not to be petty. Now every whisper landed on her instead. And this was only the beginning. That afternoon, Emma locked herself in the restroom for nearly an hour. When she finally came out, her makeup had been touched up perfectly again, but the expressions around her had already changed. A few female co-workers who used to flatter her were whispering together near the pantry. The moment Emma walked over, they suddenly stopped talking. One of them even smiled awkwardly. Emma, I heard your boyfriend is from the shareholders' family? Why didn't you tell us earlier? Emma's face stiffened immediately. He's not my boyfriend. Oh, the woman dragged out the word strangely. Then maybe we misunderstood. The others exchanged looks and quietly laughed. Emma's nails dug into her palm. Before, these same people used to surround her every day, praising how elegant and pure she was, saying she was different from ordinary women in the company. Now their attitudes had changed after only a few rumors. Watching from a distance, I almost wanted to clap. Soon another piece of gossip spread through the office. Someone said Mr. Wilson had originally planned to recommend Emma for headquarters training next month. But after today's incident, he directly gave the opportunity to someone else. The entire department instantly became even more eager to discuss her downfall. Emma spent the entire afternoon with a cold expression while constantly checking her phone, probably messaging that rich second-generation boyfriend of hers. In my previous life, I only found out later that Emma had been secretly dating several wealthy men at the same time while still enjoying being pursued by others publicly. She loved the feeling of being worshipped. Every admirer was proof of her charm. And she especially enjoyed Saja Biren Taigal Zuji, stepping on other people to elevate herself. Unfortunately for her, this lifetime, I knew all her secrets. Near the end of the workday, Emma suddenly called me. The moment I picked up, she lowered her voice furiously. Did you tell other people about the photo? I sounded shocked. Of course not. Then how does the whole company know already? I almost laughed. Because office gossip never needed evidence. Once one person started talking, everyone would fill in the rest themselves. Wasn't that exactly how she ruined me before? Back then, she only casually implied I slept with clients for projects. The rest of the company had happily turned imagination into truth. Now the same thing was happening to her. I softly comforted her. Maybe people are just misunderstanding things for now. Don't worry too much. Emma nearly exploded. How can I not worry? Then she suddenly paused. A few seconds later, her tone changed slightly. Sarah, you'll help me clarify things, right? I raised an eyebrow. Finally scared. In my previous life, when rumors about me spread everywhere, I had begged Emma to explain the truth. But she had only looked annoyed. Why should I explain? The more you react, the more suspicious you look. Now she was the one asking for help. I bit back my smile and answered obediently, of course. You're my sister. That night, Emma came home unusually late. The moment she entered, our mother immediately asked worriedly, Emma, what happened? Why are people online talking about you? Emma's expression changed drastically. Online. She immediately grabbed her phone. Someone from her company had secretly posted photos from today onto social media. One was the restaurant picture with the shareholder's son. Another was Mr. Wilson angrily throwing documents during the confrontation in his office. The caption read, "Office goddess exposed for juggling rich men while pretending to be innocent." The comments were already exploding. Didn't she always act disgusted by men pursuing her? She probably just wanted younger and richer ones. These fake pure girls are all the same. I actually believed her before. Emma's entire body shook. Her online image had always been carefully maintained. She regularly posted polished photos, inspirational captions, and fake independent woman opinions. She had thousands of followers who worshipped her. Now the comments section was turning into a disaster. She suddenly looked up at me, and for the first time since her rebirth, I saw actual panic in her eyes. "Sarah," she said stiffly, "you need to help me explain online." I lowered my eyes to hide the smile in them. Then I nodded gently. "Okay." The next morning, Emma woke up early and spent nearly 2 hours fixing her appearance. She carefully curled her hair, chose a white dress that made her look soft and elegant, and even deliberately used lighter makeup than usual. She wanted to restore her image. Unfortunately, the internet moved faster than she expected. By the time she opened her social media account, her follower count had already dropped by tens of thousands. And the comments had become even uglier overnight. Still pretending to be innocent? She mocked older men while accepting their money. Didn't she publicly shame her own sister before too? Women like this are terrifying. Emma's hands trembled so hard she almost dropped her phone. Then suddenly she froze. Because someone had dug up an old post she once made. It was a vague emotional quote she had posted months ago. "Some people succeed through hard work. Some people succeed lying on their backs." At the time, many people praised her for being straightforward and principled. But now the comments completely reversed. Was she talking about her sister? "She sounds jealous actually." So she smeared other women to make herself look clean? The situation instantly became worse. Emma's face turned pale little by little. I stood nearby drinking milk quietly while enjoying every second. In my previous life, when those rumors destroyed me, Emma had sat on the sofa scrolling through comments with a smile. She even laughed and said, "Netizens are really scary." Now she finally understood how scary they could be when the target became her. At the company, things became even more entertaining. The moment Emma entered the office, conversations abruptly stopped. Everyone looked at her strangely. Someone even intentionally moved their chair away when she sat down. Before, people had admired her elegance. Now they looked at her like they were watching some cheap drama unfold in real life. Soon, another problem arrived. The shareholder's son suddenly posted publicly online, "Currently single. Please stop spreading rumors." The post immediately exploded. Because it indirectly denied Emma completely, people instantly mocked her even harder. So she wasn't even officially dating him? She got abandoned fast. Turns out she was only one of many. Emma locked herself in the restroom and cried for half an hour. When she came back out, her eyes were swollen despite the makeup. Then before lunch, HR suddenly called her upstairs. The entire department became excited immediately. Everyone knew what it meant. Emma entered the meeting room nervously. 30 minutes later, she walked out with a completely blank expression. Her position had been suspended temporarily, pending internal investigation regarding personal conduct affecting company reputation. The moment the news spread, the office practically exploded. After all, Emma had always been the company darling. Beautiful, admired, constantly praised. Seeing someone like her fall was far more entertaining than ordinary gossip. She packed her belongings while countless eyes watched her. No one helped. No one comforted her. One co-worker even whispered deliberately loud enough for others to hear. "Guess pretending to be pure failed this time." Several people laughed. Emma's shoulders trembled violently. I stood nearby pretending to help her organize documents. Inside, I felt almost euphoric. Back then, after rumors spread about me, I had packed my desk exactly like this while everyone mocked me openly. Emma had watched coldly from nearby. Now our positions had reversed completely. The moment we returned home, she finally snapped. She threw her bag across the room and screamed at me hysterically. "Are you happy now?" I looked startled. What are you talking about? Stop pretending. Her eyes were bloodshot. Ever since that day, you've been setting me up. I stared at her quietly for 2 seconds, then suddenly smiled. Not fake. Not forced. Genuinely amused. Sister, I said softly. Why are you acting so wronged? You spread rumors about me first. Emma froze. I continued calmly. You said I slept with bosses for promotions. You said clients could buy me for money. You watched everyone humiliate me and never explained once. Her breathing became chaotic. That was just casual talk. And now these are just casual rumors too. Emma's face instantly twisted. For the first time, she realized how cruel those words sounded when thrown back at herself. At that moment, our mother suddenly rushed over anxiously holding her phone. Emma, what happened with this? Emma turned around. On the screen was a newly uploaded video. Someone from the company had secretly recorded part of her confrontation with Mr. Wilson. The clearest sentence in the clip was, "So you already had a boyfriend? Then why were you still accepting all the benefits I gave you?" The comments underneath were devastating. Professional gold digger. She used men then dumped them. Her innocent act is disgusting now. Poor sister. Imagine being slandered by someone like this. Emma's legs finally gave out. She collapsed onto the floor completely pale. And this time, nobody came to help her. Emma's collapse online only lasted 3 days before things became even worse. Because once people started digging, they uncovered far more than just one photo. A former classmate anonymously exposed that Emma used to deliberately flirt with wealthy seniors in university, while mocking poorer girls behind their backs. Someone else revealed screenshots of Emma privately insulting coworkers she publicly acted friendly toward. Then another woman came forward claiming Emma had secretly dated her boyfriend at the same time. Every new accusation pushed her reputation deeper into the mud. The elegant, pure image she spent years building shattered completely. And the funniest part? Most of it was true. I almost laughed every time I refreshed the comments section. In my previous life, I used to cry secretly while reading people insult me online. Now I curled up on the sofa eating fruit while happily watching Emma get torn apart by the same internet she once weaponized against me. Even better, people slowly began sympathizing with me. Someone dug up an old company forum post about the rumors Emma spread regarding her own sister. The direction of public opinion changed instantly. So the younger sister was framed from the beginning? She ruined her own sister's life to make herself look pure? That's actually evil. Imagine living with someone like this. Emma completely stopped going outside. Every day she locked herself in her room scrolling endlessly through hate comments, crying until her eyes swelled red. Sometimes she screamed and smashed things. Sometimes she begged our mother to help clear her name online. But it was useless. Once public opinion turned, nobody cared about explanations anymore. The shareholder's son also disappeared immediately after the scandal. Apparently his family found the entire situation embarrassing and forced him abroad temporarily. As for Mr. Wilson, he directly released internal notice that Emma's promotion qualifications had been permanently canceled. Several companies that had originally contacted her for partnerships quietly withdrew too. Her reputation was finished. One afternoon, I returned home and found Emma sitting blankly in the living room. Her hair was messy. Her face looked exhausted and haggard. She no longer resembled the flawless goddess everyone once admired. When she saw me, hatred instantly filled her eyes. "You're very proud of yourself now, aren't you?" I sat across from her slowly. Honestly, I was incredibly proud. I had died once already because of her. Every slap, every humiliation, every disgusting rumor from my previous life still felt carved into my memory. Now seeing her fall apart piece by piece felt better than I imagined. So this time, I didn't even bother pretending. I smiled directly at her. A real smile. "You know," I said softly, "watching this happen to you is actually pretty satisfying." Emma's face twisted violently. "You admit it now? Why wouldn't I?" I leaned back lazily against the sofa. "You enjoyed ruining me before too." "That's different. You still don't understand." I laughed lightly. The only difference is that back then, I had nobody helping me. But now, I glanced at the endless notifications still appearing on her phone. Everyone wants to destroy you for me. Emma suddenly lunged toward me like she'd gone insane. But before she could touch me, our mother rushed forward and stopped her. Emma, she ruined me. Emma screamed hysterically. She destroyed my entire life. I looked at her calmly. No, I corrected. You destroyed it yourself. If you hadn't lied about me from the beginning, none of this would have happened. Emma froze. Because deep down she knew it was true. She was the one who started everything. She just never imagined I would fight back. That night, another piece of news spread online. A luxury brand that had previously invited Emma for a collaboration officially announced they were terminating all contact, due to personal reputation concerns. The comments mocked her mercilessly. From goddess to disgrace. She lost everything so fast. Karma came hard. Emma finally broke completely. She locked herself in her room for 2 whole days. When she finally came out, she looked empty. No makeup. No elegant posture. No carefully maintained gentleness. Just exhaustion and resentment. Meanwhile, my life started getting better little by little. My former coworkers who once avoided me began contacting me again. One even apologized awkwardly for believing rumors before. A client I worked with previously personally invited me back onto a project. For the first time in a long while, people looked at me normally again. And every time I saw Emma silently watching me from the corner with red eyes and clenched fists, I felt happy, truly happy, because she finally understood what it felt like to lose everything while the person who ruined you stood nearby smiling, exactly like she once did to me.